Welcome back to Table Talk, a special 4th of July edition. And we're glad to have as a second part of today's show, John Downs. He's a member and past president with the Sparta Rotary Club. That club helped bring about a very special place in the city of Sparta, the Rotary Veterans Park. The park houses the names of over 1,700 veterans on granite panels. It's become a very special place in White County, and we're here to talk about that with John. John, thank you so much. And I also want to thank Federal Mogul for allowing you to come down and be able to talk more about this great company down there. I know that you're pleased to be associated with.
I sure am. They've been very understanding.
Yes, and this has been a big project. For folks that don't know, this is located in downtown Sparta, right across from the courthouse, I guess,
exactly.
right there. What was the Veterans Park area before it became the Veterans Park?
Well, years ago, it was a department store, and the department store burned down. And the building couldn't be saved, and so they leveled the building, and the Leftovich family was the one that actually had it, and they decided that they would donate the lot to the city. And so the city had it, and it was just pretty much what you might call a brown field. It was slightly greener than brown, but it was basically just a grass field there, totally undeveloped. So about 2012, Donna Fair was club president, and she came up with the idea that maybe as a club project we could develop some sort of a park in that area. And originally the idea was just to kind of clean it up, spruce it up a little bit, maybe landscape it a little bit, but someone suggested maybe a veterans park, and it kind of grew from there, and it's come out really well. We're pretty proud of it.
Well, that's pretty impressive. 1,700 names of White Countians who have served in, goodness gracious,
from 1900 to the present.
Yeah, and we're talking about not just wars, but I love that you all have got all the different eras there. Cold War, in stretching to every one of the conflicts and wars that America's found itself in. 1,700, that is so impressive.
Yeah, we thought it would take quite a while to get it filled up, but in actuality, we thought we were looking at 10 or 15 years or maybe longer to fill 20 panels at nearly 100 names per. But as it turns out, here we are about 3 years into it, and we're almost out of space. In fact, the spots for particularly World War II and Korea are filling up pretty fast. So we're looking at our first expansion. In fact, we've moved some of the landscaping around, and we're expecting that we're going to start on that could be the next couple of days, actually. So adding 6 more panels.
You mentioned 6 panels, sorry, with close to 100 names on it. So that could go from a capacity of like roughly 1,900 to roughly 2,500, and that's impressive just with that.
It is. We've been really blessed with a lot of community support. At first, there was a little bit of pushback from certain groups, a little skepticism about us doing it and spending that kind of money. We took a little while to get the word out there that there was no taxpayers' money. There's not a dollar in taxpayer money in it. The way we did that was we leased that ground from the city for a period of 3 years. Then at the end of the 3 years, we gave it back to them improved. So it actually belongs to the city of Sparta. But we have an agreement with them wherein the Rotary Club maintains the property for them. And so we've been really good partners on it.
This has to be a very special place for so many families, names of loved ones that have already gone on, maybe even from a genealogical standpoint as well. I mean, just it's amazing what can be gleaned and what can be felt from a name on a granite panel.
Yeah, there's very few things you can buy that last longer than a tattoo, Yeah. So, and that's exactly right. There are a lot of folks that have put deceased relatives in there. There are a lot of multiple generations. It's that area is rich in history, and there's a lot of names that go back quite far. Now, we made the conscious decision when we did the Veterans Park that we would start on the Wall of Honor, we call it, at year 1900. And really a lot of that had to do with record keeping. Prior to that, and even a lot of that in World War I, the records were kind of sketchy. And we vet every single name that's on the wall to make sure that, in some way, Matt Elmore's been a huge help, over the veteran services. and we go back and check the records or ask the family to provide some sort of verification either through DD 214. Sometimes it's actually a picture of the gravestone where they have the military monument. You know, you can't get one of those, you know, unless it's been proven. Yes. So, you know, we ask for some level of verification without it becoming a huge burden on the person that's proposing the, you know, the name be put on the wall. But each one's checked out. When you get past 1900, it gets kind of hard to find those records. So we just made the decision we would start at 1900 and go forward, and then that of course carries all of World War I and then all the way up to current day. So that's what's on the Wall of Honor. Now we do have some all the way back, you know, quite a bit further than that, Revolutionary War and so on. You know, are on other monuments around, say, the base of the fountain. There's a big section just been put in there, and then other people have put, you know, various people on there that maybe they're a veteran they wanted memorialized that wasn't actually from White County, you know, right. But somebody wanted it on there. So there's ways to do that. But on the Wall of Honor, you had to have lived in White County at some point in your life, either, you know, before you went in the service, or some are retirees that moved here and established residency later. So but that's who's on the wall, and everyone's been checked out.
Got a nice legend on the wall that kind of touches on a lot of different, I guess, honors that have been bestowed on some of the veterans there. Medal of Honor winners get a special mark, also Distinguished Service Cross, Navy Cross, Air Force Cross, and Silver Star. I thought that was a real nice touch
Purple
with
Heart.
that too. Purple Heart, obviously, as well. That nice touch with that too, and honoring those that like we said, have achieved some very special places in their service time.
And we definitely, you know, we owe a lot. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to our veterans, and you know, unfortunately, back in history in the not too distant past, you know, some of them weren't received back at home all that well, and I don't know how you ever completely make up for that, but we hope that, you know, as time goes on, you know, that some of those wounds are healed, and I think they are, you know, to some extent, but.
The centerpiece of that park is gorgeous. I just had a chance to go through this after driving past it so many times over the months, about 3 months ago. And the centerpiece of that with the kind of an eternal flame and fountain, the mixture of water and fire in the middle of that is just breathtaking.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a story there. One of our members, an older gentleman, World War II, actually a survivor of the Battle of the Bulge, and I probably shouldn't name him, but his name's Dr. Mitchell. But anyway, he really wanted us to have a fountain in there, and the committee really did not want a fountain in there. Mainly just because of the maintenance of it. We thought, well, okay, that's great while we're building it, but who's going to maintain that? And we sure as heck don't want it to become, you know, unkept and not good looking. But Doc was pretty insistent that he thought we should have a fountain in the middle of the park, and so we had always planned to have an eternal flame in there. And thanks to Middle Tennessee Natural Gas, we got a couple of grants from them, and we get some assistance with the gas bill. So they've been really also great partners. But so we originally always had plans to have an eternal flame in there, but not the fountain. And on a vacation trip to New Orleans, we happened upon a place called Pat O'Brien's. And Pat O'Brien's had a fountain with flame in it. And I took some pictures of it, and I said, a fountain and flame together. How cool would that be? And so we took that idea up to the Appalachian Center for Craft. And the metalworking department up there was a professor by the name of Bob Cogan, who we explained the project to him. And he sketched up a couple of designs, and we were able to incorporate the two into one, and that's kind of how a fountain came to be. So we're really, really happy with the way that it turned out. Actually worked with a company in Atlanta that did the flame for JFK, the Eternal Flame there, and they helped us with the burner designs and all that kind of thing. And all in all, it's really not been near the maintenance headache that we thought it was going to be. And it is kind of cool. You know, you don't see a lot of places where they have fire and water in the same vessel.
Absolutely.
You know, so
if folks have not had a chance, if you, our viewer, have not had a chance to be able to catch that, it's worth a special drive. It's worth definitely stopping off in between as you find yourself in and around Sparta. in downtown Sparta to be able to catch the Rotary Veterans Park. If you need some more information on that, or are curious about even more some of the background involved with that and where that is, the Rotary Club of Sparta has their own website that does a great job of tracking all the way back to early 2003 when that was kicked off to even today, and then also a Facebook page that folks can go to as well.
That's right.
Yeah, so be sure and check both those out. But most importantly, you would say, come visit the park. It's
Come
for the
visit the
people.
park, and it's we're glad to see it used. Rarely do you go by and there's not someone in there. You know, we use it Veterans Day and Memorial Day. It's kind of a stopping place. But you know, we have the car shows across the street, and people migrate over there quite a bit. It's on you know, summer weekends or even winter weekends. You'll see families in there. When visitors are from out of town, it's kind of a go-to destination. But we've had training in there where they've done flag folding ceremonies where they've actually taught people how to fold a flag properly. Woodsmen of the World been a great partner as far as the flag poles and maintaining the flags. So they've been huge about helping us out with that. Prom time, people are in there taking pictures by the fountain. It's really been a good thing, you know, for the whole community, and I was glad the Rotary Club was able to help out with it. So.
Well, John, thank you. I want to thank the Rotary Club of Sparta, and also once again, Federal Mogul, for allowing you to come over and talk about this very special place.
Glad to be here.
All right, that's
Thanks.
all for Table Talk today. Whether you catch this before the 4th of July, on the 4th of July, or after, we hope that you will or have had a very special 4th of July, and we'll catch you with more Table Talk.